It's the eve of Valentine's Day. No better time to ask, what is the key to a happy relationship? Is it mutual interest, physical attraction, communication, love, great cooking? Or is it a great credit score?
Slightly less romantic, isn't it? Well, a new app is banking on the fact that singles feel that their wallets could be a crystal ball into the future by only allowing those who pass credit checks to sign up for the platform. But does bad financial history matter when you're looking for true love? We asked you what you thought.
It absolutely matters when it comes to finding love. Absolutely.
No, I think how you treat people matters when you're looking for love.
You want to be with someone that's not going to rinse you for your money?
No, not really, because it'd be too judgmental.
I wouldn't date someone with like a bad credit score.
You'd have to take in a few other things rather than just an off the beat credit score.
Just fling is okay, but then like a long-term thing, yeah, it does.
So we also asked you, our viewers poll this morning. We're on the cusp. 51% say it matters, 49% say it doesn't. It's all to play for. The next few minutes will decide it.
It all counts.
And we've got podcaster Paige Lewin, who is passing on a pre-date credit check because she says that is grossly distasteful. But teacher Bobby Seagull says maybe it might work for him. He's gonna try. What do you think, Bobby?
So, when again, I speak as a perennial singleton, so always take my advice with a pinch of salt. But obviously, on dates, you know, you feel this lust and passion, the dopamine, oxytocin, all these chemicals flowing, and that can lead to like a short-term, fantastic fling. But as like I am, if you're looking for a long-term relationship, you look for alignment in many fields. You look for alignment, maybe spirituality, in terms of your family values, in terms of maybe your political beliefs, and actually financial viewpoints, your perspective, your standing. I think it's an important thing because these are things in the early few dates. You're like, oh, it's fine, you know, they keep throwing away tenors and they're spendthrift here and they just buy all these things on Amazon, etc. But long term, I think if you know, these things are great on people in a relationship. So if you can establish this very early on without having to talk about it because the app sort of screens it, I think it actually can lead to better long-term...
Paige, you're shaking your head already.
And how many online dates have you had, Bobby?
I've been on 129 first dates. I've been single for 12 years, though.
So should we be listening to you?
No, I haven't applied this yet. Now I'm
I mean, are you the expert or...
I'm a mathematical expert, not a dating expert.
Does Bobby have a point, though, there, when he's saying about, you know, when it comes to long-term, you need to have alignment on things like what you think about money, how you treat money.
100%. But do we need to be discussing that first? Is that not going to drag the romance out of the situation?
Jane Austen would say yes.
I mean, she's right. And I think the fact of the matter is, if that's how we've matched, it's an elephant in the room. So when we have matched, we know what each other's credit score is. We're going to be sat there and it's going to be right here. We're going to want to bring it up. And the fact is, as much as I completely agree that you have to have alignment, I was 19, thought I'd paid off my credit card in full. I hadn't. Fast forward to when I was 23, found out I had a CCJ. Okay? At that point, I was the youngest event director in the country and I was doing incredible things on a show for disability. But if I was on that app, I'd be getting the dregs. I'd be getting the bottom of the barrel. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Bobby's been in for 100, you know, maybe it'd be available.
Bobby would be looking down at me from here thinking, oh, my God, because
Bobby,
of my credit score.
You could have ruled out someone like Paige.
I know, I'm so sorry, and that's why we missed each other. I think it's, again, there are always going to be exceptions to the rule. As a school teacher, I know that, again, sometimes there's students that maybe misbehave because there are other issues at home, etc., and you've got to take that into account. But again, in dating, if you're looking through hundreds, thousands of people swiping and screening, actually, if there's one thing that can make your life a bit easier, again, it doesn't mean that, again, the love of your life, again, I'm a West Ham fan, the love of my life could be a Millwall fan.
Yeah.
Unlikely,
so sometimes it's chalk and cheese, though, isn't it, as well? Can you boil it down to a formula? Because, you know, sometimes opposites attract. Opposites
do, but they've actually had research in America which found that those with sort of closer credit rating scores are more likely to look for sort of satisfaction in long-term relationships. So clearly, I think there's a link between...
Do you currently put your credit score in your bio?
I haven't yet. Maybe
this
is why I'm missing out.
The answer.
Maybe that's it. On my Hinge today, I'm going to go about rating of 850 out of 999.
You've got to
come locking in.
God. I think the other problem is as well that it automatically creates this weird power dynamic, right? Because it's like, well, now I know my credit maybe is higher than yours. So what does that mean? That you're in control. You're in the driving seat for everything. Like, it can't be based on 3 digits on somebody's spreadsheet at Capital One. We're more than numbers.
Although on dating apps there are other digits, like there's the height and other.
When I used to be on the apps, and I'm not anymore because it's a jungle out there.
It is a jungle.
When I was on the apps, I decided to take a lot of those filters off because I realised I was focusing on the wrong things.
Were you honest when you were on the app?
Yes, I was.
Were you?
Yeah.
Do you think people are generally?
No.
No, people not at
So,
all.
so if somebody says I've got a really good credit score and I'm 6'2" and beautiful,
I'll already know that the credit score's not great. They're probably smaller than me, and I imagine if they're lying about those things, they're lying about a multitude of other things as well.
Let's just have a look at how the poll is changing. So, should you do a financial check?
50-50.
So, yes, 50-50.
Oh, it's
there
actually come in.
It's come in, so that's
I mean,
the myth.
of it, yeah. My viewers are still checking their bank statements.
There, Bobby.
They're checking their bank statements now. That's why they're not.
But we should say happy birthday
oh, thank
to
you.
40
today.
Thank you.
Paige, what advice would you give Bobby?
You know what, Bobby?
Go on, I'm listening.
What you need to do is see people as more than just 3 numbers, because the fact is, there's a lot of things that you may have seen on my credit score. And you would have missed me, Bobby, and we've been having a great time.
They are yelling at me. We've got to go to Ranveer.